look too dorky in this hat.
Oh, no, you don't. It's not. Hi, friends.
Hello.
Look who's here, Miss Mo.
The winter's leaving. We're coming towards spring. Oh.
She hibernated like a bear in the winter.
I know.
I told him, I said, we won't see her till spring.
I have to do all the driving now. My husband has severe dementia, so I don't go out on the roads too much unless they're clear. So I even make appointments now from April until December. I got it figured out.
Yeah, I don't go out anymore, and I have to either.
Yeah, it's so good to be back over here with Renee since our Christmas one with the pumpkin roll, which we had so much fun doing, and golly, they were good. You know, I made quite a few after that for Christmas for dinners and stuff.
They make good gifts.
Yeah, they are, and they're easy to make. So.
Well, we've got a drawing to do today too.
Oh, let's get to that to see.
Yeah.
To see, you all been waiting, and I'm
patiently.
sure, yeah, anticipation.
Okay, we got what's called the YouTube Random Comment Picker. And I plug my video in here. It filters out duplicate users or duplicate comments. So there's actually 203, see it right there? 203 entries. So we're going to scroll down here because Miss Mo gets to do this. You just click on that start and it'll pick the first one. And the first one wins 1 year subscription to Mother Earth News.
Oh, I love Mother Earth News.
Oh, this is so exciting.
I was around when they invented Mother Earth News.
The first winner is
Mama Ray.
Mama Ray.
Mama Ray.
Mama Ray won a 1 year subscription to Mother Earth News.
Oh, wow.
I love that.
Yes, Mama Ray.
Okay, so you would go up, back up a little bit, or no, scroll right down there where it says pick another winner. See that? Right there. Click on that one. Hit start.
Are you ready? Drum roll.
Yeah. This is a blast.
Oh my goodness, I
Mother hen of damn if I know. I love that name. I love that name.
That sounds like me when I started out in the 1980s trying to raise chickens and pigs in a garden.
Oh my goodness. Well, Mother hen of Damn If I Know Farms wins. This is going to go together real good because this is a garden starter kit.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, let me write that name down.
That would be Mother Hen of DAMNIFIKNOW. Damn if I know. Farms.
I love it.
Very original. Oh, it's just hilarious.
I love that name. All right, now, she won a garden starter kit from mygardener.com, and they're all heirloom.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. They're all easy to grow, and they're heirloom, and that'll be wonderful. So, you got to pick where it says pick another winner, because we do 3. Now, the third winner is going to win a $10 gift certificate to mygardener.com.
All right, here we go. Drum roll. Ta-da!
It's working on it.
Oh, Ellen Abdow.
Abdou.
Abdou. Ellen Abdow. Oh, nice.
ABDOU.
Oh, congratulations.
Well, there you go. There's all 3 of them. Mama Ray won a Mother Earth News for 1 year subscription. Mother Hen of Damn If I Know Farms won a garden starter kit. Love the name.
I know.
And Ellen, we're probably butchering her name, and please forgive us. I'm going to say Abdou.
Abdou.
She wins a $10 gift certificate to mygardener.com.
Oh.
Now, the winners, with the exception of Ellen, because you're going to have to email me with your addresses where the prizes can be mailed to. And Ellen, you're gonna get your gift certificate via email. So just shoot me an email, and my email is under every video. Scroll way to the bottom, you'll see my snail mail and my email. Just all of you give me an email with your address, and Ellen, I need yours for your email. And there we have it.
Congratulations, that's
That was
exciting.
That was a 10,000 subscriber giveaway.
Wow,
And this, I got another Mother Earth News. Mama got it. She got a
Oh.
year subscription.
nice.
So this one's DIY raised beds, because we're gonna do raised beds.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and you know what we're gonna do is I think we're gonna make our raised beds out of cinder blocks or
Oh,
cement
nice.
blocks.
Yeah, they're
And then-
cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't. There's the whole reason why we want to do that is because wood won't last long,
Well,
and then treated has so many chemicals.
correct. We have in our yard for the raised beds. You may have seen some of them last fall, and they're like landscape timbers. I don't believe these were treated, but we've had to pile them 3 high because they keep rotting into the ground. And I've liked them pretty good. They're small enough where you can hoe them up really quick, and put your compost in and dig it in, or a green top crop for them. So we do pretty good with tomatoes, and my great-grandson has this thing about planting carrots and corn, and he just loves to help Grandma do that, so
Hunter.
yeah, that would be
Sweetheart.
nice. Cement blocks will work.
Yeah, and then we're
Good.
gonna do trellises out of cattle panels.
Yes, they're very
You can
reasonable.
Grow
Mhm.
heavier stuff on them.
Tomatoes,
Mhm.
peas and beans would grow really good. I have old antique fencing where I grew these beans, the shield figure beans, and now Renee's gonna be, these are called turkey craw. It's hard to see them right now, but they're beautiful dry beans, and I just grow them on the fence around the yard, and through the winter my husband shells them. So, and those walnuts we did last fall, oh, sorry to say, by the time I got them dried out,
They took them.
the squirrels had almost all of them. I've got a few, but I have not cracked them. And when I do, I'm going to have Renee make in her cookbook maybe black walnut, whatever, banana bread or something. I'm going to give them over to Renee because there aren't that many left. And
They got a little bit stronger taste than what is the other one? An English walnut?
English walnuts,
Yeah.
they do, and they're so distinct and earthy. They just have an earthy flavored.
They're good.
I made
I know I tasted some of yours.
Yeah, I made mincemeat. Well, without the meat, it was a fruit mincemeat that I'd canned last year, and I made a beautiful bud cake with the black walnuts and the mincemeat. Oh, it was very delicious.
You know, somebody on here, and I can't think of the name because there's so many, but they requested a mincemeat pie, I think. Do you have a good recipe for that?
Well,
I've had it before, but I've never made it.
Yeah.
Have you ever had raisin pie?
I've not made it, but I've had it before.
That's good
Raisin
stuff,
pie
too.
is good. Some people add extra apples to their mincemeat. If you want to use meat, you can. I've just used green tomatoes and oranges and apples and spices, raisins. You can put dried cherries, dried cranberries, and the spices, and make a cake or cookie bars.
We should do a video on that sometime.
Yes, we could. We can do a video. And,
Make mincemeat bars, that'd be nice.
oh, they are with the oatmeal streusel top, and
Yeah.
they're really good. I guess over the years, my dad's sister, one of my aunts, elderly aunts, she lived 102 years old, and they were raised on a farm. Everything they did, they raised. Even when she was blind, she would go on her hands and knees in the garden, feeling for the weeds, and she still crocheted hangers and stuff. But they would make all this stuff that, it's like fruit mincemeat. I love meat mincemeat, but with the fruit, everybody likes that. you know.
I always thought mincemeat was nuts, nut meats.
No, it's exactly what it says. It's ground meat, beef, or some people use a ground chopped burger, and then suet. you put the suet or the fat into the mincemeat, and then all your fruits and spices like cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, and that such, and oranges, raisins,
I know I've had it. It's
currants. Yes, mincemeat, fruit mincemeat is good, and there's different varieties, you know, whatever you might have or could buy if you liked it. Some families, in this day and age, you know, like I raised my children on everything that I canned and froze, and they got used to eating that type of food, you know, from the garden, and that's how I do at home with my husband. Now my sister's living with us. She's 80. Her husband passed away, so that's why I've been so busy all winter, I guess, just staying close to home and cooking and baking bread, and so I like to try all different recipes. So
You just look beautiful with your hat on.
why, thank you. This is my power hat.
I love it.
Everybody needs a power hat. Now I don't wear this in the garden because, you know, when you got your hands full of mud and dirt,
Mhm.
and I have to be honest, you know, my husband taught me how to blow my nose like a lumberjack. And if you're wearing this kind of a hat, you really shouldn't do that. And if you've never known how to blow your nose outside, it's time you all learned.
Especially.
Never fails. When you get into the garden on your hands and knees, your nose just starts running. I mean, it just runs.
You call it blowing your nose like a lumberjack. I was always taught blowing your nose like a farmer.
Yeah, yeah,
Farmer style. Yep.
Yeah. But
That's
anyway,
funny.
my
That's the way it is.
she's pretty funny. She's been in the city almost 40 years in Houston, and now coming home back to Michigan, she wants to do everything that she used to do, only she's now old. We're growing old, and it's hard for her
Yeah.
to do all that stuff. I told her she has plenty of time just to take her time at what she's doing. So
She's just having herself a ball.
well, she's been trying to shovel all the snow off the new deck. And it's like, when you're getting 20 inches at a time, it's a losing battle. And
Yeah.
she's got piles of snow around the deck in the outer house. I said, they are never going to melt before July. How am I going to get into the yard and rake? She just big piles of snow. She just keeps shoveling.
And the snow's going away pretty good.
It is, with a little bit of rain
Except
we had.
where they plow and stuff. We got
And it's
big piles.
muddy. Trying to get out
Oh,
in
yeah.
the mud, it's muddy. So
It's a disaster.
I know last time we were talking, I mentioned when my husband and I and our children lived on my brother's farm a few miles east of the small village where I was born. And I decided, I guess, I didn't do it on purpose, but I became a homesteader in quick order.
Yeah.
We moved into this old farmhouse that had been used as a barn. Nothing but grain had been stored in there. All the windows were broken out. And of course, in the 80s in Michigan, there were no jobs much anywhere. You had to do what you could do for finding jobs. The bumper sticker on people's cars actually said, last person out of Michigan shut the lights off.
Yeah, I remember that.
And, you know, and I had 3 young children, and I'm thinking, how am I going to feed my family? So I asked my brother, and we moved onto his farm, about 80 to 100 acres. He had never lived there. We started working on the house. It had a huge old coal furnace, no insulation. First winter, I thought we were going to die from the cold. And the storms, it was awful for the snowstorms. But then by the next spring, of course, you know, we decided, well, I did pretty much. I thought we'd raise chickens, and then pigs came next because my neighbor raised pigs, and he taught me so much. And so we had our first couple pigs. You know, they're little feeder pigs. Some of you may buy your own feeder pigs. They just after they get
Yeah,
weaned.
they're about 50 pounds, aren't they?
30 to 40, 50
Oh, okay.
pounds, And of course, wouldn't you know, one of those pigs, when they were half grown, now we're talking, here I am raising gardens, trying to feed my family. You know, I did work out over the years at different jobs, but I wanted to raise a garden. I wanted everything to be as natural as possible. And
Self-sufficient.
Self-sufficient as I could be. And one of those pigs got sick. So I called the vet, and he goes, the pig needs an enema. Now I tell you, or I ask you, have you ever given a pig an enema? I said to him, what am I going to use? He goes, a garden hose.
Oh, no.
I said, what? A garden hose? And so I get everything prepared, not really knowing how to do this for a pig, you know.
Poor
And they're,
thing.
yeah, and they're not real big, thank God, but I couldn't lose this pig because we're talking food. I mean, anyway. So my husband's holding the little pig, and I'm trying to make it well, you know, with the garden hose. And you know how pigs can squeal normally?
Oh, and kick and everything.
And I'm thinking,
Oh, no.
man, I'd be doing this a lot worse than the pig if somebody was doing that to me. But you know, after that, I guess it was soapy water. This is a terrible thing to talk about, but you know, when
That's
you get
real.
older,
That's real life.
I've worked in the hospital for many years, and the first thing you ask somebody is, have you gone to the bathroom? And once that pig went to the bathroom, he got well.
It was fine.
I mean, it was amazing. That little garden hose. Now,
Oh my
I'd
God.
have screamed my head off if somebody would have been doing that to me with a garden
They
hose.
wouldn't have got near me with the garden hose.
But yeah, that's just one of the things that when you're raising animals, and you kind of have to learn how to do things for
They do that
yourself.
with horses and cows too, don't
They
they?
do. They
Yeah.
do.
Horses I've heard of when they get, what do they call it? Not colic, but
Well, they can have colic or winter diarrhea happens, you know, for
Yeah.
animals. And of course, you know, the veterinarian, he didn't want to come over. And of course, I think I had him one time.
hey, Mom.
Yeah, well, it's the thing for everything, you know. They need an enema. It's like, but we saved its life for, you know, future
Yep.
food.
Did you ever pull a pig's black teeth when they were little?
No.
I did that.
I have helped castrate pigs. My
No.
neighbor castrated all his little feeder pigs, and he showed me how. I helped him. I was game for anything, but I couldn't. I just thought I would miss something in life, so I had to be right there in the
Yep.
thick of everything. I don't care what it was. I think I was born 150 years too late.
Yeah.
I just wanted to do everything myself.
Yeah.
You know, like, well, we did butcher eventually. We had other pigs and stuff, and I made my own sausage, my lard, and I canned my lard. It was just as white as a sheet on the line, you know. And you get those cracklings out of the
I
bottom of
love
that
those.
pan. I had my old wood cook stove. You may have seen it on one of the videos Renee took.
Yep.
And that's how the lard got cooked down for the whole day on the back of the stove, slowly as it melted in the pan, and then I canned it in canning jars, and it's amazing.
Yeah. The cracklings are good. I used to well, I took care of my uncle's farm. He had 500 pigs.
Oh wow.
Oh, Jesus. Trying to get them in the barn at night.
Yeah.
We did. I used to run myself ragged trying to get all those pigs in the barn. 500 of them, okay? Well, one day I said, oh, to hell with it. I'm not dealing with these no more. I'm all done. I quit, right? And I walked by my dog, and she's barking at me. And she was a Doberman. Not a miniature. She was a full-grown Doberman. And I thought, she liked to chase stuff, right? And I was so mad, I just let her loose, and I said, go get them. Well, within 2 minutes, all those pigs were in the barn. I don't think it took her 5 minutes. So those pigs were just squealing, and dirt was flying because they were going into the barn. And then she come running back up to the house, and I thought, well, she didn't bite them. She didn't kill them. Every day after that. And she was so excited to chase those pigs. And she chased them right into the barn every night. What would take me 2 hours to get them in took her 5 minutes.
It was so funny. One weekend, now these same pigs, I mean, they were well, and they were not full grown, but my husband and I had to go away for the weekend, and we fed them on their schedule, on their demand. We had the feed in a big wooden feeder. They had to open the lid and get their own mash out because they were fed mash. You know,
Right.
the man I bought my feed from, he mixed whatever it was for the feed, and then once in a while I would give them. I'll get to that story about the neighbor milking all the cows. But anyway, we get home from our friends after 2 days. My brother's on the tractor and he goes, "Oh, well, by the way, your pigs got out." And I'm thinking, well, did you go get them? Well, no, they're over at the neighbors or whatever, down on the other field. I guess they brought them back and put them in the pen. It's like, oh my goodness, I could have lost my winter, my winter meat. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, your pigs got out. It's like, I chased plenty of pigs for people over the years that they couldn't keep a fence up to keep their pigs in.
Oh, I chased pigs once and only once.
Oh.
You know what happened to me? My uncle was so mad he grabbed a cattle prod.
Oh.
Because he had this one big pig. I think she was about 500 pounds. She was huge, right? And he was mad, just a cursing at her. And we were like 10 feet from the barn. And she kept turning around, and for 500 pounds, you just get out of her way.
No, you don't move them.
No, she goes wherever she wants. Well, she got in between me and him, and he took that prod, and that look on his face. Let's just say I was almost in the tree, and I wasn't a happy camper after that. He caught me in the leg with that prod.
Ow.
And oh my goodness, it just stung through my whole body.
Oh yeah.
It's enough to make you dance.
Yeah, that would be like hitting an electric fence with your leg. Like I leaned over once looking at baby pigs, thinking, oh, they're so cute, and all of a sudden I'm back on my butt on the ground because I hit the electric fence.
Oh, it's enough to make you chew your tongue, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to be up in a tree, and I told him I said, I'm done.
Yeah, chasing pigs. Another year, my neighbor, he had these big hogs. Well, he had babies. He called them bacon pigs because they were big, long. They're called landrace, and they're called a bacon hog. And these hogs, well, we had maybe the Poland China, the white, black and white, and then we had the big sow, who was a landrace, and she was huge. But anyway, we wanted to have baby pigs, so she had her baby pigs, and she was a wonderful not old, just 2 years old sow. My husband could go in the pen, and she'd go under his legs when she was little, and finally it got to the point where she couldn't anymore. She was way too tall. But she had 11 babies, and it's like, I guess I'm getting out of the pig business. Kids were getting older, and it was all girls, it was hard to get them to help clean the barn, except for one daughter.
Did you ever deliver any of your baby pigs?
No, I never had to do that. I left them alone because of a person who was so bad with what he did to his pigs. We adopted a baby red Duroc pig one time, because this man who raised pigs, he used to cut their tails, and castrate these babies all in one day. They were so traumatized. Well, I said, I saw this pig at his house, and it was running in circles, and I'm thinking, I could use that pig for the kids, it was just little.
Yeah.
And he said, well, I'll sell you that pig for $7. Now this pig, we brought him home, named him Wilbur, just this little tiny, beautiful little red pig. The kids loved him, carried him everywhere, but he never stopped running in circles because of what this man probably did to him. And I found it so offensive.
Oh yeah.
That Wilbur was our pet for many years, and he never did gain a big size like other pigs did. So Yeah, pigs are very intelligent creatures. Speaking of pigs today, and maybe you have pigs, some folks might, but it's just interesting to know. People think they're dirty.
No.
Well, they're not. They have their own little sleeping areas, and they go to the bathroom in another area.
Yep.
They're very
They
clean.
don't mix and mingle.
And if you don't clean their pens, of course, what you're going to find is a lot of manure. And that leads me to the next story. And, it's like what Renea was saying, chasing pigs.
I'll never do that. Not if somebody's got a cattle prod. Those things are nice.
All those baby pigs that this big white sow had, I sold a couple. Well, then my neighbor, he wanted to buy all the rest of them. There might have been 6 or 8 pigs left, so we gathered them up. It's hard to catch pigs, and we took them up to his house. Well, wouldn't you know, right after that, a man called and he wanted to buy 5 or 6 pigs. And I said, oh, well, they're up at the neighbor's. I think he'll sell them to you. So off I go up to the neighbor's. Now, he had a great big outer area for his pigs. And it was, I don't know, it was full of mud. Just mud everywhere. Deep, deep mud. So if you've ever chased a bunch of pigs around a muddy enclosure, I slid through that mud and pig poop right I skidded right through it. I don't know how many times. And when I come home, I was covered.
Like reaching first base.
But we got all those pigs, I tell you. And it was like, ooh, good thing smells don't really do much to me, because that was, I didn't ever want to go through that again. I think after that, I just stuck with chickens.
I love chickens.
Chickens, oh yeah. Chickens are wonderful creatures.
They're good girls.
They are. When you make kind of like pets out of chickens, they do make good pets. Yeah. But the pigs were hilarious. And little baby pigs, if you've ever held a little baby pig, they're like a hot little sausage in your hand. And they're just squealing and grunting.
Oh, God. I used to have to sit on them because I got a couple pigs, way back. And I got them out of Marion. And the Amish guy that I got them from told me that I'd need to pull their black teeth.
Is that the ones with the tusks?
No.
In the back?
No, he just said that they had, the babies had, they weren't babies, they were about 40 pounders. Mm-hmm. But he said they had a couple of black teeth in the back. He says they're going to need to be pulled, otherwise they're not going to gain good weight. So here I am. I was probably 30, maybe, sitting on this damn pig. And his back legs are just a going. But I got his back teeth out. There was just 2 of them in each one. I got him out, but boy, was he fighting.
As women and trying to, and men go through the same thing, I guess, but my husband, he didn't know whatever from whatever. I had to teach him everything. And he didn't know how to clean a barn. Finally, I said, our barn, you could have sat down to lunch with the chickens every day. It was so clean.
Oh, yeah.
And the pigs, and I had rabbits and turkeys and pheasants, and I kept it clean, and there was nothing better than after cleaning the whole barn, and you feed them all, and then you sit down and you just sit there.
Watch them, they're good.
And you watch them, and then you listen to them eating, making their little noises. And if you ever want to, some people like to meditate out in the garden or whatever, but I say watching animals just go about their daily routine, it was amazing to me.
It's as refreshing as sitting by a stream.
It is. It was incredible. What an experience for me. I mean, my dad had gardens. We were raised in the village where I'm at now, and he was raised on a big farm. They raised everything they ate. They fished and hunted, and he hunted all of our food. That's how, there was 9 of us, so he fished and hunted. That's how we ate the best food that nature provided.
Yeah.
And I didn't know a lot, but I read. And then once you start doing stuff, you begin to learn. You talk to people. Like, you have such a, you can ask all your people what
they're wonderful.
Yeah,
I love
their
them
experiences are. You know, that somebody might know something that, wow, you can learn something new every single day. And the experiences of what you do to help your family, well, I think to me, that's probably one of the most important things maybe people kind of forget sometimes. You know, because we've all had to go out to work over the years.
Oh, yeah.
Raising our families, working out in the workforce. I did it all. I worked in the workforce, raised big gardens, canned, had children, raised them. It's
You
like,
did it all. Yep.
I don't know how I did it.
What was a day off?
No,
there was no such thing.
No.
There was no holiday.
No day off, no holiday.
No vacation day. No.
But my children love to tell people, I was raised on a farm. My mom did this, my mom did that. And now I find it funny, my oldest daughter says to people, my mama said to do it this way.
Yep.
I find, wow, now that I'm older, it's like my children really did listen.
Yeah,
when you don't think they did, when you're doing a teaching lesson to your children, you think, oh, they're just blowing you off. But when later on and things come out, you realize they listened to the lessons that you taught them. Yeah, I tried to teach them a lot of nature, out looking at tree bark and, you know, just out around. I mean, like how we were raised. And I don't know, it's hard for children today.
You raise them to be as self-sufficient as you can.
Yes. I have to say that my daughters are very fine business women. They've learned to cook a little better over the years, except for one. She was so excited. She had a cookbook for the keto diet, and she made a turkey bowl or whatever. So then I asked her how she was doing it, because they're all business women. She goes, oh, gee, Mom, I don't know. I had to go shopping, then I had to cook it. She said, I'm not so excited about that anymore. Because she doesn't have any children and she's not married now, but I know it was funny trying to teach them how to do things on the farm. One daughter just screeched every time she had to use a paring knife. It was like, really? Now she's turned into quite a good cook.
Oh my gosh, I'll never forget one time when Bevy was maybe 5, like Nene and Stella's age. Anyway, I used to get packs of chicken legs and thighs together. You know how they'd come 6 in a pack? I was cutting the chicken up and cleaning it and getting ready to freeze, and Bevy comes up to me and she says, Mama, and I said, what, darling? She says, how does a farmer catch a 6-legged chicken? I thought I would die, the questions asked. And then when I had it cut in half, because all my kids had their noses and everything, they always wanted to be with me and learn, right? So I'd cut them, you know how you split them right at the joint? And she pipes up and she says, well, look at there. There's a fan that keeps the legs a-moving. And it's the things they say, I just would die.
I know.
She remembers it to this day.
They're funny because
out
of my 3 daughters, our middle daughter, Kelly, she could wear her prom dress and come down to the barn in high heels, help me clean the barn, weed the garden, do all that stuff, where the other 2, I had to bribe them. And I'd say, you know, it's time to weed the green beans or the peas. Well, Mom, we're busy sunbathing. Well, put your bathing suits on and come to the garden. You know, you're going to have to learn how to do this.
Yeah.
Not that they ever... Kelly, the middle one, still wants to have small garden and do some tomatoes. But, you know, to teach children, I don't know how to say it, but if you teach them responsibility at a really young age and how things are grown and where things come from, they really take on a respect for what's around them. You know, they saw how hard that I worked when my husband was gone on the road to work a job. When jobs were so hard to find in the 80s, I did this myself. Like Renee, when I first met Renee, I'll never forget, she lived about 7 miles east of us from Coltmish, in a little house, and I think she might have had a sign out that said eggs for sale.
I had 40 laying hens.
Now, I've been known to go up to somebody's door and knock on the door and ask if they were having Bible study that day. Didn't even know them from Adam. But anyway, I go up to Renee's door and I said, "Do you have eggs?" We had such a good visit. I met her children, and it was just from then on, she's the age of my oldest daughter, but we've had a many-year relationship, and she was then taking care of her children the best way she knew how, and that's how we have always done it, you know. We don't look to somebody or cry and say, "What are we going to do?" You just get up the
And
next
do it.
day and you do it. I always say, tomorrow is another day,
Yeah.
and it may be better, but we can't wallow in the self-pity of today
I
sometimes.
might not know how to do it, but I'll sure give it my best shot.
Yeah, I've been learning an awful lot with going through what my husband, his illness, and it is, nobody understands till you go through something like
Oh,
that,
yeah.
how detrimental it is to people. Because every day is a new challenge, and all you can do is just get up and do it again another
One
day,
day at a time.
and just pray and hope that that day is going to be a good day. And I have a sneaking feeling that a lot of times we make our own happiness sometimes. And
Yeah.
I know how people can get down. I tell you, my second child, I had postpartum depression. I recognize that now. That was in the 60s. People, you know, you just went right back to work. You just took care of your family. Nobody cared really how you felt. Nobody knew how you felt. So for about 3 or 4 months.
And if you'd said anything, you'd have wound up in an institution.
And that's what they did with women.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
exactly what they did with women. But the type of person I am, and the way I was raised, and the hardships I endured as a young girl and woman, and still in my older age, yeah, we endure things that you don't think you can get through. But somehow you reach down, you gain up that strength, and you go at it another day. Like, I mean, Renee has started this, it's just fabulous. My family is so in love with watching these videos. They just keep, they say, we can't see enough of them. That's what they say. And I was very reluctant, but I'm so excited to be able to,
Be a part of it.
yeah, be in your homes or visiting with you and not knowing you, but just feeling like, wow,
Yeah.
look at all these people who think basically just how we think.
Yep.
Want to take care of their families, or if it's just themselves or their partner or,
Yep.
you know, husband or
We
wife
all
or
have
whatever.
the same common goal.
We do, and that's to start with yourselves and work out to your neighbors and to people you know, and just reach out like Renee and we try. Renee's mom does, and we have such good neighbors, you know.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of good people here too.
Mhm.
My neighbors there on that side are gone all winter long, but they come back in the spring. And but yeah, there's some nice people in town here. You got good people in Coatmish too.
We do. Yesterday, my husband.
I have one gal that watches the videos that lives in Coatmish.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I know my brothers.
She
they
raises, she's got pigs or something. Maybe on the outside of Coatmish.
Yeah. Yeah, my brothers, they keep saying, they're just fabulous to see this, and when are you girls going to do something else? And I always say, I have to get through winter right now, and then I start my spring and all that, you know.
Oh, I'm so excited to get out there, aren't you?
Me too,
I had cabin fever. Oh,
yeah. You know, it's amazing to me, a community like you all have amongst yourselves, your homestead community. Yesterday, my husband, who you cannot basically redirect, decided he was going to the store about 6 blocks away, and it's like, well, Bob, you can't do that. There's a lot of snow. Well, he took off. I could not redirect him. He didn't listen. I get a call, and within a minute, my neighbor said, is Bob supposed to be walking like this toward the store? And I said, no. He goes, I'll pick him up. Well, he fell. He fell in the snowbank. I get to the store and I'm asking, has anybody seen Bob? Because everybody knows Bob
Yeah.
in Coltmish. And one person, our neighbor, said, well, he just walked by our house. And the other one said, give me your number, and if I see him, I'll call you right away. One man said, I'll look for him as soon as I leave. But when I came back around towards my house, our neighbor had dropped him off, and he was okay. He didn't hurt himself. But he was sure he was going to get to the store. And so when you have a community of people,
Yep.
all of a sudden, it's like, wow, all those
Everybody comes
people
running.
came together for us within just a couple minutes. And Bob was back home. Now, he probably would have found his way back home, I hope. I would have prayed he wouldn't got hit by a car, but you never know with dementia, because he can't drive or anything. But it's like friends and community like this is the most important thing.
Yeah.
That you watch out for one another and look out for each other. And I was just amazed because I was born there and that's how it used to be. And I still find it now. They keep a watch out for Bob.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I said, every day brings a new challenge for anybody. I don't
Yep.
care if there's anything going on in our lives.
Yep.
There's always a challenge of some sort.
It builds character.
It does build character. And it gives you a strength to go
Oh, I said to John one
the
day
next day.
when he told me that, I don't remember what it was. I think we were over the road driving semi, and I was complaining about something, and he says, well, it'll build character. I says, I'm 50 years old. I don't need no more damn character.
How much character are we going to get?
Right. I don't need any more character.
Lord, yeah, I got a lot of character.
It's amazing. Yeah, you just when you don't think you can even fathom it anymore,
Don't you love
you
it
conquer it.
when somebody says, well, do it this way. Or this is how I do it. It's like, sure, sure you
Yep.
would. Like my
that's-
children. Well, Mom, you probably said the wrong thing to Dad. Well, of course I did, because I've never said the right thing to that man.
Right.
And even the doctor said, well, you know, Maureen, because you've been married for, well, we'll be married 54 years in a few weeks. He said it's because you've been together for so many years that you're the closest one, and that's who gets it.
The closest target.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I don't know, but I sure can't wait to get outside.
I know, I keep looking in my yard thinking, can I get the rake out today? But
Oh,
no, not quite.
Not yet.
So,
We're gonna put up the chicken coop as soon as the snow is gone,
Yeah.
and then next month, probably the beginning of next month, might be just right after we get the chicken coop put up, we're gonna put a little greenhouse up.
oh,
So I
sweet.
can start, yeah, so, and then Mom says, well, I'll come down and put her in the greenhouse with you, it'd be good for her, you know? So,
You know, over the years, I had a dream, and I always make lists. I don't know about you folks, but I'm a list maker. I like everything in order. And I make these long lists, and I had a dream of a greenhouse. So I saved all these windows. I mean, in 20 years I was saving windows. I kept thinking, now, my husband and I are just so inept at building anything. Everything that's built, they call it, Bob did it because everything's crooked. I mean, it's like everything's crooked. Oh, that looks nice. And I said, yep, your dad did it. Anyway, all these windows sat there for years. I had them under cover because I was going to try to get a greenhouse. That was my dream. But you know, sometimes dreams don't come true. I sold those windows to a young woman who had the same dream. I didn't sell them. I gave them to her. I said, I hope that you are able to have a greenhouse. I never could.
did she?
I don't know. I never saw her again. But what I do is, if I make a list, and I don't get things done on that list, I throw it away and make a new list. That's what you do. You make a new list. You throw it away and then you think, huh, I guess it wasn't important anyway.
Yeah. See, I wanted the chicken coop in the greenhouse last year, but it didn't work out. So I said, okay.
I would love to have a couple ducks. Oh, ducks.
I don't think I can have ducks here. I don't think you can have ducks in a village.
They're farm animals, I know. Well, chickens are too.
Well, yeah, but most villages will let you have chickens.
Coatmish doesn't because there were too many people having too many animals in tiny spaces
In their basement?
in their garage, and they wouldn't feed them properly, and they were just in filth, and so there was an ordinance. You had to have so many square feet per animal.
Can't they rescind an ordinance like that?
They can redo an ordinance. Well, you were on the council, and I don't know if you were there when we went through that, but I was very vocal about if you have animals, you need to take care of them.
Yeah.
You need to have a proper space, make their lives as stress-free as possible, you know.
Yeah. You have to take care of your animals.
You take care of everything that you have been entrusted into your care, you know.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'll take good care of my chickens.
Yeah, chickens.
I think most places should allow backyard chickens.
I think, no, Traverse City, Michigan, where my daughter lives, I think you can have 3 or 4 hens.
Yeah.
Because her neighbor did. And I said to my daughter, wouldn't you love a couple chickens? Because our great-grandson, after all, needs to learn how to collect eggs.
Yeah.
She just shook her head like,
Oh, I know. I got a friend that lives in Traverse, and she, I'll be digging in my garden, dirt from head to toe, and
Yeah.
who knows, just dirty and cleaning in my garden or planting or whatever,
Yeah.
and she'll come down in all her bling, and I'll say, oh, you want some fresh vegetables? Well, who wouldn't want fresh veggies? Oh, I don't want to get my fingers dirty.
Yeah.
I'll get them at the store on the way home.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. Boy, I'd hate to see you when shit hit, when poop hits the fan.
The problem,
She says, I'll come running to your house.
a lot of children do not know where milk comes from. Milk. Oh, I got a story about that too. Next time. Next time we'll talk about the milk. And anyway, they don't know where vegetables come from. They think they're perfectly grown in the store.
Yeah.
And after all, does anybody ever want to teach them where a carrot comes from?
Yeah.
Or how to thin a batch of carrots? It just warmed my heart when I gave the corn seed to my great-grandson. It was popcorn. He wanted strawberry popcorn to grow. Well, I didn't do that great because first we had a hot summer here, and then we got so much rain it kind of rotted on the stalks. But anyway, he takes 6 little kernels of corn. I was digging the hole, and he puts those little kernels in the hole and pats it over with his hand. Now, how did that boy learn? He's 8 years old now. He plants carrot seeds, just as neat as can be. It's like, he loves
Isn't
it.
that something that's great? Yeah. I'm going to have a garden out here. We're going to do because every year in my garden, the little girls got to grow cucumbers and tomatoes for their dad across the street, the cherry tomatoes.
Yeah.
And here they are, their shirts just full. And they run across the street and give them to their dad.
Yeah.
But I thought, you know what, as much as those little girls love the dirt and planting and growing, we're going to build them their own raised bed.
Oh, sweet.
And I got all kinds of seeds. And that wonderful lady on my channel sent me heirloom seeds.
Oh,
I can't think of her name right off the top of my head. All I know is it's for the love of 4 boys.
Oh.
Is her name on the channel, is her channel name. But she sent the, hand me that and I'll show you, it's the mammoth Russian.
The sunflower.
Yeah.
I love to put sunflowers in and then leave them up for the chickadees in the garden, right in the garden.
She sent these two, they're purple carrots or.
Oh yeah, like dragon.
Bless her heart, I was just in awe when I got all these.
Cosmic purple.
She was just amazing.
I love heirloom seeds. That's how everybody used to. We didn't have these, what do you call them?
Mongolian.
Oh, Mongolian giant. Wow.
Those girls are going to have a ball with those, aren't they?
Yeah. Do you have some of these that you can separate seeds into?
Yeah.
To give.
Yep, I sure do.
Wow.
Oh, I got all kinds of stuff she gave me.
Yeah, you had the
Connecticut field pumpkin.
Wow.
And those for the little girls. And let's see,
I love
this
the
one.
history of how people, it's just amazing to me how resilient people have been since we all came here from other countries. My grandparents came from Denmark. My great-grandfather in 1860 some. They were great fishermen. They lived in Copenhagen. And my grandfather was born in Denmark. But they were the greatest farmers and fisher people. I guess that's a correct word. It's
Yeah.
amazing how my dad would say how they stored their food. They had no refrigeration because they lived in the late 1800s, early 1900s. My dad was born in 1906. So he talked about how his mother, how they, oh yeah, these are
Their name's on the front.
Good Mother Stoller. I grew those one year. Good Mother Stoller. They are nice beans. These have such a great flavor, these old heirloom beans.
I know.
But yeah,
And then
anyway, it's just amazing how people have done this.
Parsnip.
Yep. Oh, I never have heard of that one. That's beautiful. Parsnips are...
Heidi is her name because I kept her card. What? How precious is she?
Oh.
Read that precious card she sent.
Parsnips are a little hard to get germinated, but once they do, oh, parsnips are so good.
I love it.
Yeah.
And then I got
Wow. This...
breeding for long storage butternut.
Uh-huh.
Aren't these fun?
These are the Waltham butternuts, which...
I'll share some of these with you. I share some of these with all kinds of people.
I don't have the room to put these long in my garden.
Can you grow those on a trellis?
Well, they get pretty big and heavy.
What are they?
They're Waltham butternut.
Oh, the butternut squash.
Some of them will get about this big and about that big around.
So you probably would want to grow them on a trellis.
Not like you might if you had a small table queen or something where they could, because they would pull on the vines a lot.
I'll grow them in a tub then.
Some people I have seen with pumpkins and stuff, they have like a mesh net hanging, and then they grow right into that net like on a trellis.
I know. I just saw on Mother Earth News here. It's in that book where the guy took cattle panels and he made a circle out of them and made a raised bed out of that.
Nice, yeah. Well,
What a good idea.
Yeah.
People got such good ideas.
They do, and that's what's so wonderful. Oh, I'm just so glad to be a part of all of this.
Oh, this is a ball. We
has-
got to figure out how to do a seed exchange. You know.
Yeah.
Look at these she sent. She's just a doll.
Oh, the tomato. These grow good too. These cherry tomatoes. Yeah,
They're gorgeous.
Baker Creek. I get a lot of my seeds from Seed Savers Exchange. In Baker Creek, I think I've ordered a few too.
And I gave you rattlesnake beans, didn't I?
Oh, you might have. Yes, you did.
Okay.
I've got those up on the. Those those are a pole bean.
Yep.
Now, can these be used fresh green or both? Dry and fresh?
No, they're just fresh.
Just fresh. Oh, okay. All right.
All I did was I left some of them pods on the vine to dry for seeds.
Yeah. Yep. These almost remind you of a pinto bean, only smaller. So.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just love
have fun
everything
with
to
this.
do with.
That's the Black Russian. I got
Oh, yeah.
those for the kids, so I'll have to give you a couple of those.
It makes my heart feel good. Just knowing that pretty soon we're going to be able to plant and then harvest some of our food. Because I kept thinking, I'm getting older now. I don't really want to can as much as I did. But then I get to thinking, oh boy, we've used so much of our canned food. I'm going to have to can.
I know, I got holes and gaps. Can you tell in your pantry it's getting to the end of the season?
I know. Everybody says, well, my elderly brother, he's not doing so great. He retired. He's 82. He comes every day for our noon meal. And he'll say, you got any of that good peach jam? Or how about the plum you made? Now, he's practically, when he puts it on his toast, bless his heart, his wife died a few months ago. And so he's at our house almost every day. He lives just a couple miles away. But he puts this much on each slice of his toast. It's like, hey there.
Half the jar.
It's half the jar. And your mom, I was over to see Renee's mom the other day. And I get ready to leave because I haven't seen them hardly all winter, and they live 100 feet from my house.
I told him she lives like literally across the street.
She comes to the door with me and she goes, "Hey, I got a big favor to ask you." And I go, "What's that?" And she goes, "Do you have any of that good peach jam left? We need that for our bread." And it's like, I'm all out. I have to make more, you know? So, all that type of stuff that we can do for ourselves, I mean, like that batch of peach jam the peaches were given to me we went looking last fall for plums and pears to can. Well, we got to the farmer and they had all kinds of peaches and stuff, but the price is very expensive everywhere you go. But she had a lot of overripe ones. They weren't rotten or anything, and she gave me a whole basket, you know. So I went home immediately. I never turn anything down somebody wants to give me. And I can only picture it as something, a relish or a jam. And I went home and made a whole big batch of peach jam out of the peaches she gave me.
Who's that, Mom?
No, it was a lady off 20 over on M22.
Oh, Miller's?
At Miller's farm market. And so anything like that, I just never turn down. Because if you can can it or freeze it, that means you have something good for your children, you know, or your husband, wife, or partner. You know, you still got to eat, no matter who you are.
I had another friend of mine the other day give me a box of groceries that they don't eat, and there was a can of Spam in there.
Oh.
I've never had Spam.
Oh.
Ever.
Really? We ate it.
And they're all telling
me
me different ways to cook it. That's good with rice, fried, you know, boil the salt out of it, and
I like
how did you cook it? Fried?
I fry it and have a few eggs. We haven't had Spam for years, but we had Spam growing up, and I fried it with our morning scrambled eggs. You know, as you grow older, you have to eat a lot of protein and a lot of fiber, so they want eggs or something every day. Then my daughter goes, "Well, haven't you heard, Mom? Eggs are no longer any good for you." And I said, "That's not true. I refuse to believe that."
Eggs, they said, oh, they're good for you. And then they said they're not good for you. And then they're good for you. Now they're not again?
That's what she said.
Okay. I got 3 do you need any eggs?
I think I got a dozen.
My friend went to Costco and got jumbo eggs. She bought me 6 dozen. They were 57 cents a dozen.
Yeah.
No, it was at Walmart in Traverse.
Yeah, that's at Walmart in Traverse. I always forget their eggs and milk are so cheap because I hardly ever get to Walmart. So
if you need a dozen, I'll give you a dozen. I
Well,
sent Mom 3.
I can always use eggs because they want scrambled eggs, it seems like every day.
Yeah, usually when I get excess eggs, I'll do egg salad. I love this stuff.
Yeah.
It's good.
I was a cook for many years before I went to work at the hospital here in Traverse City, Michigan. And in the nursing home, that's one of the major things is to help elderly people because of the skin breakdown. And when I made the egg salad for a lunch sandwich or turkey salad, I always, if it was chicken or turkey salad, I would always put a few boiled eggs into it for extra protein, which helps build muscle mass and helps elderly people gain that back somewhat because they don't get enough protein if they live on their own, for instance. Or
isn't it after a certain age you start losing like 8% of your muscle
You
mass
do.
every year?
You do. That's why it's important for us to move, and that's why gardening to me, as bad as my back has been after surgery, I get out there no matter how much I hurt, and I garden.
I gotta get out there and get my winter weight off.
Yeah,
This was bad this year because usually I was out. I've been home since November.
Yeah.
And usually I was just constantly on the go working. So I gained like 20 more pounds this winter than normal. And it's like, oh Lord, I gotta get that off.
When I was at my doctor, I'm a diabetic. It runs in my mother's family very, very, and I've, bad, okay. So I've always been a little on the chubby side, fluffy, whatever you want to call it. And
we don't last a lot in a famine.
we could last long. Anyway, my doctor goes, when I was in for my checkup last time, she goes, perhaps you could, it's the new year, you could make this resolution or something. And I turned around and I looked at her. She's young, about my daughter's age. She could be my grandchild. Anyway, I like her a lot, but she said, I said to her, now, I know I'm never going to keep that promise, so why would I even say that to myself? And she's just looking at me, and the other young doctor she had with her, he starts laughing. I said, yeah, I've never been one to make New Year's resolutions because,
They last a day.
Yeah, if they
that.
last an hour. It's like,
Right.
I know I need to be more mindful of my eating, but it's difficult. That's why the gardening.
Well, it's hard when you like your own cooking.
That's true.
We're good cooks. I love my cooking.
Our cooking and what we do for others, that shows a great love for one another.
Oh my goodness,
When you cook for somebody and you see the joy on their face from eating something or that you baked or a loaf of bread you've given to your neighbor, it's like that gives you joy. When you think of somebody else.
Yep, that's the love shining out of the food you cook.
It is. And I've always been that way. And at home, we were raised in 2 little poor rooms, an outhouse, no one running water. There was a pitcher pump. All the years I grew up till I was 16. But every Sunday, I don't know how it happened, my parents had, for after church, Sunday dinner, they invited the neighbor, there was a couple bachelors, they always came for dinner.
Yeah.
And I don't know where that food came from, but we always had a big, huge Sunday dinner. So I grew up with neighbors coming to dinner, people coming by, talking, and they had coffee, and us kids running all over. The times, people don't take time with one another anymore.
Oh no, we do our family dinners every Tuesday.
Oh.
And we get together and do a big family dinner, but during the worst of the winter, like from December to March, we don't do anything because I don't want nobody out on the road.
Exactly.
But we're going to start back in here in a couple of weeks, and our first dinner is going to be a pizza party.
Nice.
My homemade pizza.
Yeah,
I love it. Yeah, breadsticks. I'm going to do her all up.
Well, that'll be nice.
Yep. So anyway.
Well, I suppose I better get back home.
We had fun.
Oh, it's been great. I can't imagine how much I miss just talking.
Oh, I know we can talk half the day away.
I'm such the talker. I talk with my hands all the time too.
That's all right. That's fun.
Animated, So
anyway, with the don't forget to email me your addresses, and Ellen, you're gonna need to email. Just drop me a note so I have your email.
Yeah.
Because that's how you will get your gift certificate. It'll be delivered in email.
Well, that's awesome. Mother Earth News.
Oh yeah, your supply. You know what? The last time I had a drawing, I gave away your subscription. They wound up getting 2 for the price of 1.
Oh.
2 years for the price of
nice.
1. I didn't know that.
Wow.
It's like, oh, you got a bonus.
I like Grit magazine.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Grit.
Have you ever seen, somebody mentioned, was it Countryside?
Yes. There's a new homesteading thing too that's really good. Not Pioneer Woman. But they have a lot of, it's like Mother Earth News.
This is my favorite.
I love Mother Earth News.
Yeah, I've never had anybody not like it that I've given a gift of it to. So anyway, well, thank you, friends, for watching. We had fun, and we will definitely do this again.
Yes, we will.
We got to make your bread.
Oh, yes.
And the mincemeat, and
there's so
whatever
much
else
to do.
we can make.
Yeah.
We'll have fun. All right, friends. Y'all have a good day, and we'll see you.
Have a great week.
Yep, we'll see you tomorrow.